Hello everyone and welcome back to Lords of the Fallen. It's been so many months since I played this game. It felt very alien to me to get straight back to it, and the reason being is that in the end this game had just way too many problems, bugs, glitches, game mechanics that were broken, game mechanics that were not patched even after it's been 5-6 months after the game's release. I just feel like the devs just took the money and left. Honestly speaking, I would not advise anyone to buy this game, but it's up to you. I got this game on release and I decided, after playing a little bit of it, I just decided to put the game down. I just really had no incentive to play the game whatsoever until about a day ago. I decided what I would do is, it was a Saturday afternoon, and I decided that instead what I'll do is I would pick up my old save file and decide to just bum rush the game. I think I went from this particular point right now, the road to the Infiltrator, till the end of the game. Took me about an afternoon. I think I started around 1 p.m. and by this is breaks included, like going to go eat and etc. It took me up until about 9-10 p.m. and when I was done, I did kind of have a great feeling of accomplishment, not because the game was good, but because I managed to overcome such a terrible game. It's like, the game is hard, and this speed run issue, it's not really a speed run, to be honest with you, considering that I did it over a course of hours, but this one sitting of the game I did to finish the game really showed me some of the game mechanics, in the sense that really, if you're doing base vitality runs like I was doing now, most of the difficulty doesn't come because of the fact that the AI is super good or you got outplayed by the enemy. Most of the difficulty comes from the fact that maybe the boss has one move that just one-shots you, no matter how much vitality you have, or maybe the hitboxes, pretty much like what just happened right now, or like the hitboxes have weird mechanics whereby the boss isn't even facing you, does an attack that clearly missed you, but then the game registers that it hit you, and then you die because that particular move one-shots. So honestly speaking, there are so many bugs and mechanics that are still broken that needed to be tested before this game was even released, that just made it into the final product and are still there till this day and age, including the shield bash glitch, which I personally used as my go-to mechanic for completing this game. Just as one particular disclaimer though, I understand that this is a very long video, considering that it's the entirety of the game in one playthrough. I believe the overall video is going to be like 1 hour 40 minutes, and I don't intend you to watch it from start to finish, so I'm going to leave some annotations in the description. These annotations will be spaced out in the following way. Each timestamp will be a run to a specific boss. So for example, from the beginning of the video up until now will be the Infiltrator timestamp, of which you can click on it to find how to run to the Infiltrator and fight the Infiltrator, of course. And I'll try to do this for all the major segments of the game, because all the major segments of the game are punctuated by boss fights, stage by stage pretty much. And you can find whichever boss you want to learn about. I understand that this game is very frustrating, it's very broken, and you might want some advice or to see how to defeat a certain boss, and so I guess this video would be just an entire playthrough of the game, but also a boss guide as to how to kill certain bosses or to pass certain areas. So this is pretty much all it will be. And it's been a long time since I ever finished a game and instantly uninstalled it. I was just like, I regretted ever getting this game. Oh my god, I don't know. I've played very bad games before in my life. Trust me, it's not the first time. Especially during the times when I used to have a console, when I used to have a PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 1. Back then, I used to really get into games, whether they be bad or good. I would just want to finish the game for the sake of finishing a game. And since I used to play games with my friends, it was always fun to make fun of a bad game. That's where we got the excitement from. And then, of course, we'd just finish good games because they were good. But in this case, I had no friends to talk and laugh about the terrible mechanics of this game. This was just me playing by myself. Hence the frustration when I was recording, considering that I sacrificed my entire I sacrificed my entire Saturday day and evening just to finish this game, so that I could finally delete it and try my best to forget about it. Like I had said in the previous videos, I'm feeling like taking a break from uploading, well, at least uploading on a regular basis, just because of the fact that I honestly have nothing planned or nothing of interest that I believe is worth recording. We've managed to complete most of the games I've wanted to play over the past couple of months, couple of years. Well, at least some of the content that I'd wanted to upload, that is all over. And unless I find something of interest before I finish The Witcher 2 over the summer vacation, I think this channel might just be barren for the next couple of months, maybe with the 1 or 2 videos here and there. But for those who are watching, as always, I would like to thank you for always being here for me. But enough of this long introduction. Let's look at the Infiltrator. If you've noticed by now, the main mechanics of the Infiltrator is the 3-hit combo, the swing, smash, the tail stab, and the foot stomp if you get too close to one foot. Best way to avoid this 3-hit combo, of course, is to just strafe to the left. You could try use the shield bash glitch on whichever leg you remove the armor on, but it's very difficult to do so because the hitbox, or should I say the hurtbox of the leg, is very small, and to shield bash you'd have to be going in the opposite direction of the limb of which. So if the limb is going to the right, you have to be shield bashing towards the left, and and vice versa, of course, which is very difficult if I were to say so myself. But besides that, the boss does try to heal herself periodically, but this is the time you get to deal significant chunks of damage. That's the boss done. There are just so many things about this game. It's like, let's talk to her first. I don't know if I talked to her or not. What was I trying to equip here? Or was I looking at what I got? I'm not too sure. But I was saying, most of the NPCs in this game really, honestly don't care. It's like the story of the game really is just, I don't know, meh.
Sure. And taking care of that guy for you was just easy peasy.
I would have managed.
Well, to the victor goes the spoils. So I'll take this as a souvenir. What are you going to do with all those stone tablets? You have way too many. Let me help you out.
Here you go.
Pleasure doing business with you. So long, and watch out for snakes.
It's just hold on.
Give me a good reason why I shouldn't kill you right now.
Hilka, reward me, you, Craig.
A reward for what? Go on.
Craig, Ruhar brings stone. Craig, you human skull. Rohak reward.
What need have you for human skulls?
Make potion Krok. Pain Urik stop. Krah! Give Krok shield. Rock room spell on shield. Kragrio. 15 skull Ruga.
I'll see what I can find.
Urik.
Yeah, as I was saying, some of the NPCs though, I don't know if you have some insight as to what you think that designers were going for when they were making some of the NPCs and the dialogue trees in this game. Maybe you can give me a heads up in the comments below and just tell me what you think the designers were thinking. I don't know, because I'm baffled with some of the but some of the dialogue trees. I just didn't feel attached to anyone in this game, considering the fact that I ran past every side quest.
What are you doing here?
We saw this shining door while running from the Rogar, so we jumped in. Could there be anything worse? We can't get back now. And the captain? He'll never forgive us. We're trapped.
You escaped the Rogar and came here.
And how on earth could we know where it would take us?
You better leave.
Well, we were on our way to the tower by the bridge, the one on the right. We thought we'd hide there, but there's a powerful demon guarding it.
If you want to stay alive, you should get back to Keystone.
And face the guard, Captain. Forget about it.
I don't have time for this.
Coming from you, I'd expect nothing less. Oh!
And part of my reasoning towards this is their heavy-handed approach to the story, where before you even do anything within the game, you're already given Harkin this pre-made character. That's fine. There are many games I've played with pre-made characters. It's normal. But the way they try to portray you as this badass, this guy.
Is this what you were looking for?
No. You see, it was looking for me. And now it's found me.
Will it help me travel dimensions?
No. But it will let me. Should you need any runes crafted, I'll be there for you.
As I was saying, they make you seem like this bad man, this badass guy who takes no prisoners, kills all demons. But really, Harkin himself has no backstory. Just supposedly a prisoner who's done many bad things. That's pretty much the entire not the entire but the entire backstory towards the character. And nothing about Harkin, nothing at all about Harkin is ever brought to light. You do not know anything about his past. You don't even get to know the so-called bad crimes that this man has done. So how am I supposed to feel that he's a badass if I don't even know what he did? What if he was put in jail for, I don't know, stealing a cucumber? Then who I wouldn't give a damn about all the tattoos and the grit on his face if that's his crime. I know that's probably not it, but there is literally no character development besides stat points. There is no character development in terms of the dialogue and in terms of lore and in terms of story. Period. I don't know. This game, honestly speaking, I don't even know why I decided to finish it. Because it was a bad idea, but I guess it's just the fact that I fooled myself initially into thinking this game might have any hope towards it and buying it. That was my biggest mistake, but I don't know. I just don't know. I hope that I hope that this video is testament to anyone who knows me. Just trust me and don't get this game, please. I beg of you. Right now, of course, this is post commentary. I recorded all of this in one day, and now I've edited it, segmented it, and I've placed it all into my video editor. Right now I'm just doing the post commentary, watching the game, how I played on my small little editing screen. And honestly speaking, I personally wish I was doing something else. I wish I was talking to my friends. I wish I was maybe playing another game, or I wish I was doing something else more constructive with my life. But no, I have to sit here for the entirety of this video just for the sake of doing it, because I know if I were to just upload this video without any commentary, by the time 2 minutes has passed, chances are anyone would close this video, including myself, really, because this game is just awful. It's just terrible. I don't know. I couldn't really be bothered into making anything special for this game or putting any special effort into this commentary. I'm just telling you what I feel. And I hope after you watch this, you yourself will make your own decision as to whether you still want to give this game a chance, or you feel that what I'm saying is wrong, or maybe you are agreeing with me and you feel that this game was a waste of your time and money. Of which I personally feel that if I could refund this game, I would totally do it. But it's impossible at the moment. Now here I believe we should be on the road to the champion. Most of these guys you can shield bash through, especially this one guy on the stair. I would advise you to shield bash because of the fact that he blocks you so perfectly you can't just run past the guy. But most of the heavier opponents, if you shield bash, chances are you are able to stagger them and continue running if you shield bash to either their left or to their right, but never shield bash directly into them, because of the fact that it stops you, both of you become staggered, and anyone's able to capitalize on that. But if you take this particular route, you'll be able to find the first switch, which should be over here. And the second switch should be after this little lore cutscene thing. Not really lore, but just two useless NPCs arguing.
The jailer's key is right behind you.
No, if you open his door, the sound will wake up the beast in my cell.
What is going on here?
We've both been trapped inside this prison because of him. He's the murderer, but he keeps putting the blame on me.
That's because you are the murderer.
Why not just let both of you out?
The sound of the door will wake up the beast behind us.
Only one of us will make it out alive. The one with the open cell door.
I'm not letting you out. You can rot in there for all I care.
I hope you rot alive, you bastard.
I put a curse on you and everyone you've ever loved.
Apparently we've been cursed, boys. I don't know. Sometimes you get to enjoy some of the chatter of the not so important NPCs in this game. I feel that if there were more people like these two, or more situations like this, you would at least have some enjoyment of the game because of the silly decision makings and the way they insult you after that. It's quite funny, genuinely speaking. That one particular situation was funny. If you had explored most of the dialogue trees.
My workers have started rebuilding the foundations of the West Wing. We thought we knew our monastery inside out. Yes, it contains many secrets, but something like this, we discovered corridors deep in the ground, but it's nothing like the monastery as we know it. Must have been built on something that's much older, maybe even older than the church stories.
And this is the champion. I believe you are able to make him ram through that gate to see what's behind that door, that whatever experiments are happening in this area, but I couldn't be bothered. The boss fight itself is genuinely normal. He has melee attacks, he has a 3-hit or 4-hit combo, he has an uppercut, he has a straight jab, or a swing into a straight jab, and he has a dash that you can parry, of which I'm making a bad effort of doing so evidently right now. And he has a ground pound. Now the ground pound has a certain level of tracking, but if you roll, jump, or maybe even backstep as it's about to blow up, you'll easily clear the ground pound. It's no big deal. Now the timing on the parry is very, very early. It's very early, but you have to gauge the distance just right. What you have to do is he has to make contact with you as your arm is fully stretched out at the end of the parry animations, as if he's rebounding off your open arm. It's not a matter of bashing him away with the shield by making him collide with you in the beginning or the middle of the frames. That's not how it works. But in this next attempt, I believe this was the attempt I got right after many fails. I was getting the parries right though, but it was just the damage output. One thing I have to understand about this game, besides the fact that I've already told you that the game mechanics, glitches and bugs are through the roof, one thing I have to understand is that dexterity scaling in this game is actually very bad. It's terrible. Like, if someone were to ask me what build should I make, straight up just go strength. There's absolutely no point to do dexterity. Maybe if you want to be fancy, you can do some faith strength build, so you can have your strength weapons and your heavy armor and high vitality, with a little bit of some spells from the faith thing. You can do that, but it's, honestly speaking, it's a waste of your time. I would just tell anyone straight to go full strength, because with the strength build you'll have high HP, you'll have high endurance. This is especially for someone who'd like to do a speed run following the similar route that is made up for the game. You'll have high endurance, which will allow you to wear heavy armor with good defense. You'll have high HP. You'll have heavy hitting, damage dealing weapons that do a ridiculous amounts of damage. At the downside that they're slow, but it doesn't matter in this game. Fast weapons are still weak in this game because of the fact that they may be fast, but the opportunities to attack are so few because of the hitboxes in this game. You just don't get the opportunities to attack and deal major amounts of damage. It's just, and the scaling is just terrible. Like right there, I managed to get a 4-hit combo, and I barely even scratched the guy. But just imagine if I had a strength build, and in this particular portion of the game you have my axe, which is a really good early game weapon. That would be an easy 400 damage on one swing, which counts for like maybe 6 of my swings with this weapon two-handed. It's just ridiculous. Agility is terrible. This was just my build that I made when I started the game, because I thought to myself that agility could have something good about it, but that was before I learned that it's actually the worst in the game and that there is no balance with scaling in this game. Agility is bad, strength is good, full stop. It's terrible. I just don't know. In other games they managed to balance it out with different variations. Of course, another thing that this game lacks is variations in weapons. Like decks usually just have daggers, short swords and staffs, and maybe a small hand axe here and there if you're lucky, which is actually going to be the weapon that saved this playthrough. But really, if you were to compare it to something like Dark Souls, of which the devs of this game said that they were heavily inspired by the workings of From Software and their works with Demons and Dark Souls, it's quite obvious to me that they just, They were just inspired by Dark Souls only by the name itself. They did not know how to make a stamina-based action RPG game. This must have been their first time, and if it's not their first time, they should be ashamed at how hard they failed. I don't know. I guess let me stop talking bad at CI games because I'm inviting trouble for myself, but I think even they know for a fact that this game was awful in the end. I thought I removed that clip. Oh well. That sucks. For a second there I thought I removed the clip where I died. I guess this must be the clip where I actually defeated the monster. Not too sure. But I think, yeah, that was a fault in editing. I could have saved on some time there if I never actually put that clip. That was a good, like, 5 minutes, I guess. Now I've lost my tracking on the editing software. Okay, I'll just resume it right here and hope for the best. I don't know. I just messed up right now. If I were to check my recording of the audio and the video, it's now totally off, so you'll notice some desync with some time as you listen to my words, but since it's post-com, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. The champion, I don't know. Strength build, this fight would have been over by now. You could shield bash this guy to death, but when I was playing, I was still trying to learn. For a second, I kind of believe that they might have patched it like a few days before I started playing, maybe. Or maybe it's just because about 2 weeks ago I was like, oh, let me just try out this, practicing out the shield bash glitch in preparation for this particular video, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work the way I had experienced it when I tried it out two weeks ago. But what you do is, you'll probably see it later on in this particular playthrough. But what you do is that you are able to lock on to whatever target you want, and then as you are sprinting, you hold the block button. This will initiate a shield bash. This bash can be used to knock enemies to the floor if used the way it was intended to be used. It's a once-off hit with the shield as you're sprinting, breaks through walls, knocks enemies down, or staggers enemies that have high poise. Now, the thing with the shield bash glitch though is that if you run towards something, and as you are running straight at it, you strafe in its opposite direction, in the opposite direction of which it's strafing, and repeatedly spam the shield button, you can infinitely shield bash them. And the thing is, the shield bash does roughly the same amount of damage, does the same amount of damage as your right hand weapon, which means that if you have a heavy hitting strength weapon, which is very, very slow but deals a crap ton of damage, you can offset that by shield bashing, since it's infinite. And by infinitely fast, I mean like you could deal about maybe 20 shield bashes in 1 second. Now, if that's the strength weapon we're talking about, just imagine the amount of damage you'd be able to do. It's actually quite ridiculous. I seem to have lost my yogurt. There we go. I don't know. This game, I don't know. And just in case you're wondering what kind of yogurt I'm having, it's a... if I were to look, I've got some strawberries here, some blackberries, and something I can't make out, but tastes nice, I guess. It's okay. I'm not one for these types of things, but I don't know. I just needed something to keep me entertained. I wanted something to keep me entertained as I sit down to this awful game. I don't know. One other tip for the champion boss is when he gets raged, when his lower portion of his health bar, the green bar, fills up, he'll get rage, whereby he deals extra damage. My advice to you, if you really want to keep it safe, is let him attack, dodge all his attacks because they consume his rage, such that he goes back to his regular levels of damage. And by regular, I'm saying that very lightly, because there's nothing regular about this game. One move, right now, I've had base vitality since the beginning of this particular playthrough. I can go to one boss wearing the same armor, no changes. Maybe this boss here. He gives me a right hook. I die. And then I come back to the boss, he gives me a right hook, I live. And the next time he gives me a right hook, it totally misses, even though it went straight through my body. And sometimes it will require 2 right hooks to kill me. Sometimes it's one shot. There's no consistency with the game, because it just doesn't make sense. I'm still wearing the same armor, I still have the same vitality, and it's not like he's hitting me as I'm attacking him, because there is a counter hit system in some of these games like Dark Souls and Demon Souls. I'm not too sure if the counter hit system works well in this game. I can't attest to it. I noticed that there is a semi counter hit system when it comes to shield bashing, because I have been charged and I got the shield bash wrong, and it did a significant amount of damage. So maybe there is a counter hit system, but I don't know. There's no consistency in the damage scaling of this game at all. And the champion falls. And that is the champion dude.
Over here. Come here. Listen. Please. We need your help. What was that thing?
That beast nearly ripped me in two.
Antanas and Kaslo are waiting for you. Hurry, this door leads to the Citadel.
Okay, apparently now we're going to the Citadel to meet up with Antanas. And just as a timestamp for me, when I'm trying to align the time, it's 34 minutes 38 seconds as of now. in the video. I hope I remember to remove that. But it's just in case the audio desync is really bad when I'm putting the audio and the video together. Even though it's post-commentary, it shouldn't be a problem. There'll just be one section of silence within the video as I realign the audio. Now in this part, as always, we just run past everything because we don't give two craps about this game. You are able to shield bash this guy, run away. Shield bash through the table, but I rolled, which was actually bad. If you take your time here, the mage is able to one-shot you. Yay! This game is so difficult. Get one-shot scrubbed. Scrubby. Loading times are epically long. Nothing we can do about that. And then round 2. We run past this way. Try pick this up again. Go up the stairs. Shield bash this guy so that it doesn't run back at you. Shield bash through the table, of which I keep on forgetting to do that. I think I died again here. I'm not too sure because I'm just doing things very wrong. Yep. This looks like I died. Yep. That was very badly done. Terribly done. Okay, I think this time I did it correctly. Now we go up the stairs. The first guy is no problem. You can dodge all his attacks. The true difficulty comes up after this part. You run up the stairs. You shield bash this guy because he catches up real quick. You shield bash through the table, of which I forgot to do that. You shield bash that guy. I didn't do that either. Let's see if I pass the spot. Oh my god, did I die again? Shield bash that guy. Healing salve. Oh, healing salve. Oh my goodness. Now talking some Dota language right now. And you go up here. Oh, I remember what happened. When you go up these stairs, you are able to run past this spot and kill off all the enemies. But the problem is, there's one guy who's down below that you have to kind of wait for. Let's see. This guy does this whole shield thing. You can backstab him, which kind of breaks the camera. That's fine. That's the first one down. You kill this guy, the archer. Can be a problem to hit sometimes. There we go. Now, the issue is that you kind of have to wait for the last guy to come up the stairs, kill him to engage this cutscene talking to the guardsman. Of which this time he totally glitched. I was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and I didn't find him, so I decided, hey, let's run back down the stairs and find out where the big guy is, and he was stuck right here. And the guard is not fighting him or anything, so I decided let me hit him to make him move. And did I live? Oh, I lived. Oh wait, hold on. I think I'd already died to him a number of times. I'm not too sure. And I edited out the death on this part. Okay, so at least I didn't forget to remove that clip. And then it kind of glitches right there. I don't know why I paused, but I don't know. I think I was looking for projectile to shoot at him. Then I kind of changed my mind. I don't know. Oh, I wanted to use these shenanigans. Yeah, just watch me fail with this guy. The problem is he can one-shot me or two-shot me, and both of his attacks deal a significant chunk to my poise, which could stagger me and still kill me for the third consecutive shot. There's just no way I can fight this guy with this current state of stats and poor armor and poor weapons and poor everything about this current dex run. With base level stats besides dexterity. It's just, oh my god, it's so terrible. Never play dex if you do decide to play this game. Just don't. It's awful. But luckily enough, this guy is standing. He's standing by a weapon, which is going to be the savior of this run. If you get this weapon, you are fine. Currently, the weapons I'm using are pretty much the best weapons, I would say, for any dexterity speedrun, though this may not be a speedrun. I'm just saying, if you want to do things at base level as fast as possible without having to backtrack a lot, these are the best weapons. You start off with Scratch if you had the pre-order, but otherwise the main daggers, Prejudice, the stuff I'm using right now, and the weapon we'll get, I think it's called Hawk and Gargoyle or something like that. It's a small hand axe. That's like literally the best weapon I could find without having to go out of my way. Let's see. Still chasing this guy, still can't do anything, and you can't damage him through his shield. It just rebounds and he kind of counterattacks you and kills you, so you kind of have to make him turn his back. Now you think to yourself, you go behind him and you hit him and you'll deal damage, but nope, he can block facing the opposite direction. So, and when he does manage to block you facing the opposite direction, guess what he does? Counter hit, one shot, dead. Can blame it on the light armor, yes, true. You can blame it on the base vitality, yes, true, but I honestly don't care. I honestly don't care for this game. Let's see. And we managed to kill him finally. I believe I had already died to him a couple of times before, and I'd already picked up Gargoyle and Hawk.
Was that the last of them?
Yes.
You didn't need to get involved.
Looked to me like you needed my help.
We'll secure the area. Kaslo is upstairs with Antanas. They're expecting your report.
I'm not a soldier. I don't report to anyone.
You're right. You're not a soldier. You're not here for honor or duty. It's, as you say, a job.
I can't believe he killed all those demons by himself.
I've had my share of fears, but this guy...
Get used to these people's chatter.
There is one heresy that can never be forgiven, and that is defying your true God. This sin is eternal, and will haunt generations to come. Our children and their children will curse us, for they are the ones who will continue to suffer because of our grave mistakes.
Okay, now we should be heading up to Antanas. I'm going to look for a good spot to make a timestamp, a referral timestamp here. 42 minutes shield bash through wall. I think that's a good timestamp for editing purposes. And one more timestamp will be...
Not just a myth, Ingvar. They exist.
Let's see.
I've seen them myself. Last week, Antanas brought them to the monastery under cover of darkness, and would not allow any of us to even touch them. These must be the scriptures we have spoken of so many times. The keys that unlock the pathway to other worlds.
Okay, 4320, talking to Antanas. There we go.
How did it go?
We won't be seeing any more lords.
Excellent.
The Rogar continue to attack.
As long as they're not lords, we should be all right.
Antanas is safe. Our job is done. I want to speak to him now.
Not yet. There's more work to do. We will meet you in the Planetarium downstairs.
Why can't we speak now?
Antanas will reveal his plan to you in the Planetarium. He can only explain it to you there. We'll meet you downstairs when it's safe.
I would assume that if I were to take the game a bit seriously, I would assume that
we will meet you there.
Kaslo was still in the middle of discussing something with Antanas, hence why they didn't want to talk about it now, or they didn't want the soldiers to hear. Or there was something that Kaslo and Antanas, or Kaslo was trying to find out before he could initiate the dialogue sequence. It's something that he was trying to investigate, which is interesting. Now this is the gargoyle. Oh yeah. This was when I was starting to feel alive again, because the damage output before this particular weapon is extremely low. Now at least it's bearable. Okay, now at least two-shot these guys if we get them out of their shielded positions. Ooh, yeah, the hits. The hits feel good. It really feels good. Slow-mo. Nice. After this, after all the bullshit I had gone through to get this far into the game, when I got this gargoyle and hawk, I felt alive again. I was like, it's time for my fucking revenge. It's time to kill people. And even though I was still dying, at least we managed to kill some people, which is always nice. Now, the mage in this room can be a pain because he has a life leech, which does a stupid amount of damage. He has a projectile that one-shots. He has a projectile barrage, which would do like 3/4 of my health. And what that sudden burst of energy is self-destruction, which could kill you. I was lucky I survived there. Actually, I should have died, but me being me, I was lucky for the first time in my life. One shot. Now, I'd been dying so many times into this room. In this room, when I got here, I was like, we are moving somewhere. We are moving somewhere. Considering I spent the whole afternoon dying in this game due to hard gameplay, poor balancing, and weak weapons. And of course that hitbox that shouldn't have hit you, that hit you, but what can I say? Decided to use Mimic here to go in for the double heavy-handed attack. Boom! Get back. Do it again. Boom! Mimic damage, literally 4 times the potential damage I could have got.
Well done, Harkin. Antanas is here, and he wants to speak to you.
Harkin, Kaslo tells me you've been victorious against the Rogar lords. It is a feat my own men have not managed.
They don't die easily.
Tell me how you do it.
It requires patience.
This war has been waged for far too long at far too great a cost. My people are suffering. I cannot protect them as long as I'm trapped in this godforsaken place.
Why are the Rogar attacking in the first place?
Adyr intends to destroy me. I represent everything he fears.
What could a god fear?
I pull demons from the hearts of men, Harkin. I undo Adyr's work, right before his eyes. This awoke his fury. Now he's returned.
Antanas has learned how to separate evil spirits from men. He can free them from their dark side. This angers Adyr.
You can see how cruel he really is.
If Adyr is victorious, we will all live under his rule.
I am the people's guardian. I am the only thing standing between them and Adyr. And I will fight this battle until I no longer draw breath.
The tide has turned in our favor.
Battles have been won, but the war yet wages, Harkin.
We should move you to a safer location.
No, Harkin. Antanas is the one the Rogar seek. They will hunt him down no matter where he goes.
But we have a plan. One that will bring the battle directly to our true enemy.
You mean the Rogar?
No, Harkin. I mean the god.
You showed me little favor on the day you sentenced me to my prison cell. Yet here we stand. You demanding favor from me.
That was a long time ago, Harkin.
The crimes committed were yours, Harkin. As was the punishment you earned as a result.
And now you need my help. Why should I bother? Why should I care?
If Adyr prevails, he will change the shape of this world. I do not turn a blind eye to your sins. Your violent nature fuels the flames of this battle. But in a world set ablaze by madness and despair, I will fight fire with fire.
It's not every day I get to kill a god.
Indeed.
How am I supposed to do that?
You must return to the Rogar realm. Once there, kill the remaining Rogar lords. Once they are gone, Adyr will have no choice but to enter the fight himself. And when he does, you finish him.
I understand.
Not all of the lords are in the temple, Harkin. Some of them might be staying closer to the god. You will need this to access the heart of the Rogar realm, the Chamber of Lies.
Your gauntlet will be able to open the path inside the Chamber of Lies, if you allow me to prepare it.
Luck in battle, Harkin. If we meet again, it will be to celebrate your victory.
Harkin, before you go... Yes? There's something strange going on here. I don't know what exactly, but I intend to find out.
A very simplistic plan, but even Caslow understands that there has to be something going on. Reason being is Antanas is able to prepare our gauntlet to open doors that are in the heart of the Rogar realm. How does he have... How the hell does he have the key? How does he have the key to doors in the Rogar realm exactly? I would like him to explain that to me personally, but...
Thank you for getting me out of that cell instead of that pathetic wimp. Thank you for getting me out of that.
I would believe if I got a key in the cell of the guy I saved, I would have been able to open that chest, but it's out of my way and something I don't really care for. But anyway, Antanas has the key to some of the doors.
So it's true. Antanas is sending you back to the demon realm.
Why do you care?
Some traitorous men under my command fled through the passageway. If you find them on the other side, kill them with extreme prejudice. Their squad has a unique arm tattoo. That'd be the good proof to me that these bastards rot in hell.
I have met them already.
So they're dead.
They were no match for me. Now where is my reward?
Reward? Come on. Bring me the evidence first, then we can talk.
Okay, those are the soldiers that we had found before when we were leaving the Rogar realm.
Trust the moment we saw them.
But as I was saying, this man has the key to some of the doors in the Rogar realm. I don't know. Is the Rogar are the lords giving out information? Are they selling out as to how to access the Rogar realm? I'm not too sure about that. But Antanas seems to know way too much about how to sort out things in the Rogar realm, and also we're being sent on a mission to fight the lords by ourselves. No soldiers, no backup, no nothing. What a war this is.
By this we will honor those who died in the fight that freed us.
Now you watch me fail as to find out which is the button to actually shoot the gauntlet, because it's something I didn't even use because it felt so useless at times. Besides, for the purpose of opening these doors, I really had no point to use this gauntlet. I don't know. I feel that there's so much in this game. There's so much that is in this game that was intended to be used, but you can just finish the game without even using it. That's the thing that bugs me about overall game design of any game. If, let's just say, your game has 10 characteristics about it which make it what it is. If I can finish the game using only 2 of those 10, surely you have to ask yourself if there's any substance to the game you're making. You just have to ask yourself that, but I don't know. If I were tasked to make a game, I probably wouldn't do a better job, but it's just my personal opinion as to what's going on with this game. this is the beast. He has a long-range poisonous projectile, which of course does a lot of damage. The mechanic of this boss, besides his 2-hit combo melee attack, sometimes 3-hit combo, is that he has a stagger bar. Usually 2 running heavy 2-handed attacks can make him stagger, which will make him fall to the ground. And then this is the time I used to shield bash. This is the shield bash glitch I was talking about, even though I was doing it badly. It's just a matter of running in left-right patterns and trying to find the sweet spot where the shield continues to bash multiple times. And then you just spam the raise shield button and you are able to bash eternally. And if you're skilled, you could potentially kill an enemy in one shield bash session. As soon as I knock him down, equip the shield, start running at him. Left, right, try find his hurt box where it's located. And then try overextend the hitbox of the shield into the opponent. And you get the goodies. And he's down again. The fight is very simple, especially if you can make him glitch into this animation where he's just stomping the ground eternally. If you can get him in the corner. But besides that, honestly speaking, the fight is very, very simple. And even if you're not abusing the shield bash mechanic, if you were a strength build, you'd be able to do you could stagger him with one heavy 2-handed attack, and as he's down, you can go to town on him such that by the time he wakes up, he's staggered again and he just falls back to the ground. It's like strength builds just own this game. That's pretty much the truth about it. And that's the beast down. We get his insignia. Let's see. It's a soldier and the beast dropped an item, but I don't think I saw it.
What is this beast? I've never seen anything like it. But you killed it without a second thought. Maybe you could help us.
I have enough problems already.
If you change your mind.
Okay. Pick up. Gives us some stuff, some room. And we're off again. There are a lot of challenge portals, including this one, but I think I'd already entered it. But like I said, no need for most things. Like I was saying, if you make a game with 10 characteristics and they can finish the game with only 2, and there's literally no point in using the 8 of the rest of the characteristics whatsoever, then you best believe that you need to take it back to the drawing board and rethink your strategies as to how to implement ideas into the game. You could potentially fight all these guys, but just no need. You could probably go through this game, new game plus 2, and finish it totally, doing the same stuff I'm doing right now. Just shield bash to victory, get required stats from bosses, and you're done, really. And sometimes you can't enter the door, sometimes you enter the door. I was lucky that time, because the enter button was not working. That is the Guardian boss we'll be fighting very, very soon after I have an unexpected mistake here. What did I want to say? I wanted to say something. Oh yes, back to the topic of game design. Oh, did I die to this guy? Shield bash and run into a dialogue. This is how dialogue trees can kill you in this game. Just take a moment to see.
You should avoid the monster in that arena. Use the secret way that leads through this tower. And come meet me in the place where you fought that 3-legged stool. If you do, I can show you what I have discovered.
And that's how dialogues kill you in this game, because apparently projectiles are still flying as you're talking. I don't know. It was funny though when it happened. I was laughing hard. But she gives you an alternate route as to how to get to her and into the deeper portions of the Rogar realm, but it's a very long, well, it's not a long detour, but considering you could if you're good with the boss, you could potentially kill it really quick. It could be a significant detour such that most speedrunners don't actually take it. So back to what I was saying about game design is the fact that back when this game, when it was still in development before it was released, people were saying, you know, what are the other environments we'll get to see? And the developers, being the developers, said nothing, of course. Shield bash to win. Developers, being them, didn't say much. They're like, oh no, you know, we don't want to give out too much, we don't want to say too much right now, don't want to spoil anything. Little did we know there was really nothing to it, because you kind of begin in this snowy fortified castle-like architecture, and then you think to yourself, okay, now I'm going to the Rogar realm, shit's gonna be different. Oh, run away. You're about to find maybe different vistas, different environments, and nope, even the demons live in snowy castles. It seems like that's the fashion. Everyone just wears big clunky armor. Everyone just uses big clunky swords, and everyone just loves clunky game mechanics like this guy. And it's just snowing everywhere, so we can infer that weather weather in the human world is the same as in the demon world. So you can, at least you know where to go to for summer now. You can get a tan in the Rogar realm. It would be so interesting. Now here I got him in a very bad animation. I got him stuck in a part where I couldn't punish him very easily. If you really want to get him into a good punishing animation, you have to make him do the handstand into kick. Not handstand into kick, but the stab that... Oh my word! I was lucky I didn't get one shot there. It's time to run again. If all these flares hit you, I believe it should be enough to kill you. But it's just a matter of running in a straight line and everything should be fine. Some bad RNG on the invincibility frame. Oh my word, the invincibility frames on my roll are very bad because of my lack of endurance and speed due to the lack of equip burden, which is really bad. Has some good dodges though. Now that I get to see some of the things in retro, some of the dodges are really good dodges. Really good dodges, if I have to say so myself. No, not meaning to toot my own horn, but then shield bashing for... Oh no! Roll! Oh my word! Oh man. Shield bash for the win. Guardian dead. Funnily enough, now that I think about it, what do you obtain for killing bosses in this game? Oh, their weapons. Yeah, I guess. Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought you got nothing for killing a boss, but you get whatever armor or weapon they decide to give you, which is, I guess it's okay. Can't complain too much about that. It's not too bad. But literally, you could finish. The more I think about it, the more I go to these crystals, you could finish a whole playthrough by only spending points you obtain from bosses, because I am not, as you can see, the enemies have a infinite respawn, so you can literally farm the enemies in an area and die, farm the areas and die. It's not infinite now that I think about it, because there were some enemies here, but you can farm the enemies, and I haven't been doing that, and I'm still able to finish the game. Though it may be hard, I'm still able to finish the game. Now this is when the bullshit really begins. We start running. We run, we run, we run. I'm sure there's a lot of fancy things that you could find in this particular section of the game, but shield bash and shield bash again. I don't give two craps about that. We move over, shield bash this guy, turn right, go up the stairs, turn right, turn left, and then turn right. Care for the hole, which I didn't care for. And then you die. So now, as soon as you walk in here, just bear in mind that hole kills you. So you just go straight down again. Shield bash first guy, shield bash second guy if you can. For some reason, the shield bash was not coming out, which is what makes me believe that they must have thrown in a patch at some particular point, which is undocumented, but tried to fix the shield bash thing, but kind of broke it in the process. I don't know. Shield bash the spiders, go straight in, shield bash spider, turn right, go upstairs, up more stairs. Now the bullshit really begins. I was lucky I didn't get one shot there. Go. I'm actually, no, I think it's the will armor set which really helped me in this particular portion of the game, because in any other armor set I believe I would have been one shot unless I was wearing full symmetry, of which I cannot wear full symmetry. We're lucky we didn't die there. I think I might have died here now that I think about it. Check out that big guy. It's funny though, it's like some of the artwork in this game is really awesome. But I believe that, yeah, I died here. But I think I managed to open the door before I died. No, I did not die. I feel that some of the unit artwork itself, like of the different enemies and monsters, is really good. But I feel that it's undone by the graphics engine that was being used, because some of the guys just look bland. Like, the design is cool, but the texture of the skin isn't so great. And also, I think it's undone by the fact that everything's just snowy and grey. So there's no color, there's no life to the units. It's like they may look good, but if you look at the environment, it's so very dull, such that it just doesn't matter. And you can go back down to open the main door to help out Yetka over here, this girl who really shouldn't have even been in the game because she's not even interesting whatsoever. And the talk button has glitched. Oh well, what a game.
I bloody well found it, Harkin. I've got it. This place is the knowledge. My family might be dead, but they left me this one book, and it's a map. It was a map all along, and now I will finally be able to read it. I'm so close. I need to decipher this. In the meantime, why don't you find out what that large gate is about? The answer must be somewhere in this tower.
Okay, she needs help to reunite with the family's knowledge, whatever that means. We'll find that out sooner or later. Excuse me. Little burpy burp there. Shield bash! Shield bash! Oh, and guess what? We already opened the door. Luckily enough, we didn't get severely punished. We could have easily died if this guy behind us was hitting us caught up quicker. But luckily enough, the poise from the will set really helped. Should be able to drop down here and live. Another glitch within the system is that if you roll off a ledge, you take no fall or you take no stagger damage and you don't stagger, which is really good on saving on time. Always good.
Stop! Don't hurt him!
What?
This is what I've been looking for. He is it!
What? This thing? Are you expecting it to talk to you?
He said. He knows why I'm here. I think he is saying I don't have much time.
If it's that important to you.
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, voice acting, not so great. I don't know what emotions were supposed to be conveyed in that dialogue, but I felt nothing. Maybe someone could explain, but I don't know. I just don't know. And they're gone. And that's that. That's pretty much her side quest done. It's finished. It's over. And then I jumped down here to kill myself because we want to death warp straight back to Annihilator. You reappear back in this room, shield bash your way, but instead of going right you go left. It's a great way because if you don't do that, I believe you have to kind of run all the way back up that way. And it's really tough because you have to fight through 2 separate areas, which is ridiculous. But jumping off there and killing yourself is the best way to get to Annihilator, because you just death warp back to the beginning of the room. It's kind of a punishment if you wanted to explore the other areas, but if you're speedrunning, not so much. The death warping trick. When he throws his hammer is your best time to get a significant amount of damage, but I didn't get a good shield bash off, which is terrible. This game, now that I look at, when you look at some of the designs of the bosses, some of the designs of the boss fights, the armor, like right now just me looking at this and commentating about it, this game had so, like, not the idea, to be honest, because the story was shit. I won't even lie to you, there was no story in this game and there were no NPCs, but this artwork on its own had so much hope. If the story was good, this game could have been good, because I don't know, there's just something about it that screams out to me as just being good artwork and good design in terms of the looks of the characters. But the story is just so awful. I don't know, and the bugs and stuff, it just kills it. Throw hammer. Damage output literally non-existent. Dex builds. I don't know. Is it Dex you're looking for? I think I gave up and I was trying to go shield bash him now. There we go. I managed to find his hurt box. And we're going in for the shield bash. Oh, nope. Didn't get it. If you stay in melee range, you can spam that forever. He also has different phases like other bosses, but his phases are literally non-existent. I don't know, you can stand next to him like I'm doing right now. The lightning won't hit you. I think that it's just a slight damage buff with increase in lightning defense, of which we have 0 lightning damage right now, so we are Gucci. It's useless. It's a very useless damage buff for him, because he'll never get to hit us, that's the honest truth, because usually his hits kill. Whenever it does the flash, just look away, because if you look at him, you'll have to tank the damage of this lightning, which kills me with base vitality. Well, it's not base anymore, I think I put 2 or 3 more points in now for that extra 200 HP. I think it helped because if you check the beginning of the fight, I think I was hit by the hammer once and I was put on like 2% of my life. If I didn't have those 3 points in vitality, I would be one shot by this boss. So sometimes you just have to be You just have to know how much extra HP you need to not get one shot in the case of speed running and min-maxing your builds. Ooh. Drag and slam. The nice thing, one interesting thing about this boss is that if you kill him, you get the hammer he's using. The hammer is called lightning, of course. The originality right there. The hammer is called lightning, but if you want the legendary version of the hammer, which does more lightning damage and just in general does more damage at a cost of less stamina than the one you get for killing him, is I believe you have to kill him with you get the final blow with lightning, or the lightning dealing weapon, lightning damage dealing weapon. There we go. So what you could do is, if you really want to have some fun with this boss with the Annihilator, what you can do is you can kill him now, get his weapon, and then go to New Game Plus, come back and kill him with his weapon to get the legendary version of lightning. And that's shield bashing down the drain. But maybe if you had already infused lightning into one of your weapons, then you could just do that, which is, I don't know, it's less fun, but it's up to you. You do whatever you want. You do me, you do you, I do me, I guess. And lightning returns. And now I'm going to spend the next 5 or so minutes listening and killing ghosts. Which is fine, I guess, gives me time to stop talking and you guys to listen to what's happening in the story. For those who are interested.
You came here to die at the hands of a god. Why fight me? There is much I can teach you. I can show you eternity. Your first battle was an initiation. The first lord I sent upon you was not expecting you to be his match.
Where are you? Show yourself!
Later, you faced this one on the battlefield. You fight the Rogar because you perceive them to be your enemy. You fail to see their true nature, their true purpose, their true magnificence.
I didn't come here to talk.
You also defeated this lord and his minions. Look upon yourself, Harkin. You are an outcast, a pariah. You've been imprisoned, branded, forgotten. You are more like the Rogar than you would admit. I feel your anger. You lashed out, you brutalized and slaughtered. You are Rogar. You have no place in this world.
Face me!
You have fended off all the Lord's attacks. Most impressive. The Rogar are no monsters. They are man's creation, the sons of men. They are born out of your anger, your fear, your shame. These are not demons, Harkin. They are mirrors. Reflecting mankind back to itself.
You lie!
You have done battle with every creature that crossed your path. You even slayed the last lord, leading the offensive on your citadel.
exist without evil.
You twist words to mean what you want them to mean.
And then you brought the battle to my door when you defeated my guardian. Your savagery feeds this war. Antanas has destroyed universal balance, and so he has created chaos. By trying to put an end to what he calls evil, he has brought the Rogar forth. Don't you see? With every battle, the Rogar becomes stronger. This war will lead only to your own death and destruction. I wonder if that's not what you truly desire. Antanas has interfered in a realm he can't possibly understand. And he will destroy you all if he is not stopped.
I'll never surrender.
Your true enemy is Antanas. He fears what he does not understand, what he cannot control. He looks at men like you with all of your passions and fears, hopes and dreams, and sees you as flawed and broken, sinners in need of salvation. He is full of hatred when he should be full of love. He believes he can rule with godlike power, but he is as flawed as any mortal. Why do you serve a man that hates you? A man that would see you rot in a dungeon for all of your days. The world is in flames, Harkon. Antanas cannot save it. No man can. Only a god can. Antanas' pride and destructive nature has brought me forth back into the world. You need me, Harkon. All of humanity needs me now. Let me help you. Look at Antanas. See him for what he is. Don't let him destroy you. You drew power from your enemies. You drank it. You are like them now. I will show you a way out. I will give you a gift, and with this gift, you can give me the soul of Antanas. With this gift, you can restore balance and peace. The choice is yours, Harkon.
Kaslo, is it really you? Hello, Harkon. What's the meaning of this? Are you Adyr?
No, Harkon. I'm not a god, but I'm not the man you think I am either.
Then tell me who you are.
The universe requires balance. I am the guardian of that balance. I do not serve Antanas or Adyr. I am the true judge.
You brought me into this fight to create more violence and chaos. Why?
Your capacity for barbarism is equal to that of the Rogar Lords. Before you, Antanas' army was hopelessly outmatched. The Rogar Lords would have destroyed them with little effort. Then this world would have fallen into utter chaos.
Where is Adyr? Why didn't he fight?
Thousands of years ago, Adyr did come to the battlefield, and that is where we defeated him. He has learned his lesson. There is more than one way to win a war. Adyr did not raise his sword against you, but he did offer you a choice.
So I'm to be the pawn of an insane judge descendant, or an insane god? Who am I to believe? A man or a god? That is the riddle.
Who do you believe?
What is this rune Adyr gave me?
I never imagined a rune like this could exist. It holds a tremendous power, and only its holder can decide how to use it.
What happens now?
That, Harkin, is up to you. Return to the Citadel, see Antanas, then you will know what to do. This is where this, Harkin. You have fallen into darkness and despair and risen to redemption. You know that even flawed and broken men and women can redeem themselves. Look inside yourself, Harkin. Ask for guidance there. The balance of the world is in your hands now.
And that's pretty much the supposed conclusion to their character development of Harkin as a whole, and the story. But let's just put the story aside. This is supposedly the character development of Harkin in the sense that he is supposedly now a better person. He's supposedly grown as a human being. He's now wise. He's now compassionate. It's like things that I don't know, just don't exist. Things that just conclusions. Like, Harkin has done nothing in this game to show that, first of all, he's done nothing to show that he's a bad man. Like, the badass that they claim he is, the Annihilator of worlds or whatever he was imprisoned for. He hasn't shown any of that. Secondly, he hasn't shown that he has learned from his crimes and is atoning for his sins. He hasn't shown that either. He's just helping these guys because they forced him to help him. But more on the Lost Brothers fight. This, to be honest with you, this fight is no Ornstein and Small. This fight is... it's akin to something similar to what was in Devil May Cry 3, and that was the fight between the fight with Dante versus Agni and Rudra. What they did with that fight was that Agni was the fire god, of course, and Rudra was the thunder god. And what would happen is they would fight you simultaneously, and they would take turns fighting you. Then after that, if you killed one, the other would take the other and assimilate their powers into themselves. So for example, with this fight, if you kill Lightning first, Fire will have some of Lightning's abilities, which will do lightning damage. So he will start doing both damage types. And if you kill Fire first, Lightning will have fire damage. So it's a pick and choose. But one similarity to most of the dual boss fight games, or games that have dual bosses, is that killing them in a certain order will net you different equipment. But in this case, the equipment is not different, but the stats of the equipment you get is different. You get a shield, a buckler. And if you kill Fire last, then the shield will have high fire defense. And if you kill Lightning last, you get high lightning defense. But besides that, just as a rule, you'd like to work them down both almost evenly. Reason being is that if you have, for example, Fire on maximum health and you're always running away from him whenever he spawns, and you work down and kill Lightning, the problem is that when Fire has both of their abilities, he doesn't have 2 times the health. No, he just has both of his abilities, which in turn kind of doubles his damage output, which will make him harder to kill. So what you want to do is you want to work them both down as they're still both just doing their normal damage, which still does a lot of damage, I know, but such that when he gets both of the abilities, the fight isn't as long and hard as it could potentially will be. And if you stand in that pool of fire, you will get burnt, and it does do a lot of damage. Don't even bother. And when they both go up on the roof, just run away. Always keep your eyes on them, because when they come down, they have this ground smash, ground pound, which just does like everything, and you just die. Oh man, I don't know. I still maintain the fact that this game could have been done good. It could have been bad. It could have been good. It's like some people have resigned to the fact that this game is bad and it just had no hope from start to finish. I believe there is potential for this game to be good. And like CI Games said, they are talking of making a second Lords of the Fallen game. I think you can look at it from 2 points of view. It could just be another cash grab, or it could be the matter of even they realize that they did so many things wrong with this game that they want to redeem themselves and potentially do something right with the second game, of which I hope it's the latter. I honestly hope to see a good Lords of the Fallen game, because before this game came out, I was interested. I was like, wow, you know, not a contender, but like a different action RPG to play. I like action RPGs. I like turn-based RPGs as well. It doesn't really matter to me. I like lots of games, but I was just happy to see yet another action RPG, because The Witcher 3 is still in development. You know, I played The Witcher 2 like when I was 17 or something. It's been so long. Then Dark Souls came along, and you know, it was just an interesting experience personally for me. But then the game came out and it proved to be not so good. But that last bit of dialogue talking to Adyr, as much as it was a little premature conclusion to the story, in the sense that the game tells you straight away, this has happened, this is happening, the end of the game is near. It's like as soon as I got to that point, I knew for a fact that the game was ending. But my only, besides that as a problem, also one thing that I liked from that single portion of the game is that it actually shows you how many attempts it took you to kill all the bosses and in how long and etc etc. Some people may think, personally I think that is something that could have been reserved for the start screen, for example, but they decided to put it in game. I don't know, but I just like the fact that you get to see your attempts and deaths on certain bosses, or on all the major bosses. So now Fire has lightning attack, making him even dangerous. He still has his own fire attacks as well, but now he has counters for different situations. He has his fire breath for up close attacks. He has fire stomps as crowd control. I mean lightning stomps for crowd control, so it makes him that much more harder to fight. If you want, you can bring some fire and lightning resistance shards to this fight to help. It really does help. But for me, the reason why it doesn't do so is that those lightning and fire resistance shards do defense on a percentage base. So like for example, it will increase your fire defense by 11%. Now, one thing you have to understand about percentages is that they are very small. If, for example, 11%, or should I say 10% of maybe if I had 1,000 health, would only be 100 damage bonus like resisted, as compared to like if I had way more health than that, I would resist more. So for me, my HP pool is just way too small, such that those shards are just ineffective. Probably it will just save me on 1 tick of damage. Maybe if I was supposed to get one shot by 10 ticks of lightning, maybe it will be 9 ticks of lightning, or it could be 9.5 and I still die, because this game rounds off your HP when you're about to die. So for those strength builds, like I said, high defense, high armor, high HP, then you can bring those shards and you should be safe. And that's the Lost Brothers. They were tough to beat, I won't lie, I died a lot of times here, but compared to something like Ornstein and Small, Agni and Rudra, two boss fights from my gaming history, they're not so tough. And another thing that I don't understand, first I was asking if you get anything for killing bosses, and I realized no, you get weapons or armor and stuff. One thing I never liked about the bosses was that all these bosses have no backstory. Who are the Lost Brothers?
They're
Where's the traitor?
Who is the Annihilator? Who's the Infiltrator? Like, why is he there? What's the story? What has he done? Probably if you look at their armor description and weapon description, fair and fine, it will have information. That being said, but it's not good enough backstory. You know what I mean? Like, it's something I wouldn't write home about. Or maybe I'm just being too harsh. Now what we're doing is, since we've been branded a traitor, we're now running up to go meet Antanas. Our own soldiers are now fighting against us. Or should I say Antanas' soldiers are fighting against us now. And luckily enough, they're no demons. I think those guys were way harder to fight anyway. And you meet with the King's Guard here, shield bash him. You can choose to kill him. It's actually a story-based decision that you can make to kill him or not to kill him. I let him live because it saves time. And you can run past everyone pretty much and not kill anyone, any of the human beings.
Who did this to you? What kinds of weapons are these?
A peculiar rune you have. A tool of chaos. It can build. It can destroy. It's beautiful.
Tell me about the rune.
It's unlike anything, yet contains everything. Power born from weakness. Weakness turned into power.
Thanks for the explanation, I guess. Use the rune for my weapon. I want to deliver Antanas' soul to Adyr.
Tool of chaos in the weapon of the tool of chaos. Yes, I like that.
Do it.
I was just trying to see if you could, but you are able to equip the rune into any specific weapon that you are using at the time, but the weapon I was using doesn't have any sockets to utilize, so we're just gonna go straight towards the final boss instead, which is Antanas. Now, the first section of this game is up here, which is very simple with shield bashing. And then now the true fight begins. Luckily enough, when you die, you start at that particular portion where you just jump down, which saves out on time. And then the fight begins here. When he jumps, you jump. Always keep that in mind. But is a difficult boss per se, but very simple to understand. Like, you can understand what he's doing. He has the 2-hit into ground pound, and he has the hit into counter hit thrust. That's the more dangerous one. The ground pound is where you punish him. The thrust you can punish as well, but when you try, he ground pounds again, which can push you away, or if you had already committed to a serious blow, could deal significant damage to you. This is all about damage trading, equivalent damage trading to try get an advantage on the boss. Luckily enough, the hitbox on Antanas is more forgiving, making him easier to shield bash if you want to abuse the shield bash, like I'm doing right now, since my weapons really deal no damage at this point of the game. Now when it's channeling up, here's when you can go to town with the shield bash. Oh man, the shield bash was real. I managed to run him down all the way. But from here he starts spitting down fire which tracks you and hits you wherever you are except for here. And there are monsters though, sadly. He summons monsters as well that he'll use to restore his health. Luckily enough, we're able to survive. He life leeches off the monsters. During this time, you can deal enough damage to bypass the life leech. But he does explode the corpses, so you have to be careful about that. Now, my main goal at this particular point was to get him down to his next phase, just enough where I have enough stamina to shield bash him as his phase shifting. So I had to be gentle, very gentle with Antanas. And then I almost messed it up, but luckily we went in for the kill. And that's that. Pretty much game over. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully whenever we meet again, we will meet again. Thanks for watching, and that is the death of Antanas.
And so Harkin defied a god. He cast the rune aside and struck Antanas down using only his sword. And in the end, he cast that rune aside, restoring the forces of the world back into balance. Harkin found the balance even between the power of his sword and magic, using both means to defeat all manner of Rogar lords and man-made creatures. Despite the markings on his face, he proved himself to be a compassionate man who showed mercy to the just and unjust alike. Harkin proved himself to be a warrior, not a scholar. The secrets of this world did not interest him, even when they were only an arm's reach away. He chose to turn a blind eye to Antanas's dark experiments. Thanks to Harkin, Yetka was able to reunite with her family. The Crafter's crystal was returned to him. He went back to his dimension travels and studying the runes. Harkin sealed the fate of both realms for many years to come. Historians of the future will forever wonder what the world could have been if Harkin's choices had been different.